Welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and this is your AEW Wrestledream preview and predictions on the vertical live. Once again, we are doing these vertical lives as a way to feed the YouTube algorithm. We're going to see, first off, if I sound good. Can you even hear me? I hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. And we're going to also see if we can fit in some NXT talk as well, because apparently AEW Dynamite aired last night. Usually it airs tonight, Wednesday night, but it got moved due to scheduling conflicts of whatever reason. So it was done last night alongside NXT. Yeah, and apparently I haven't seen the ratings yet, but I'm hearing NXT was the far better show. I've only seen Dynamite. I haven't seen NXT. The only thing I've seen from NXT was Javon Evans versus Randy Orton, the main event. And I have a couple of thoughts about that. Not too many thoughts, though. I do want to preface this by saying this is not an NXT video. This is specifically, strictly AEW discussion, AEW predictions, Wrestledream, Dynamite, and whatever news I can come up with if I see. So thank you all for coming in. I want to give you guys a second to file in so you guys know that we're doing this broadcast here. We're going to look over the card as it stands. Now, you would think this being the week of, the card would be finalized. This is AEW. Everything is last minute. And because we're dealing with storms, we already dealt with Hurricane Helene. And now we're about to deal with Hurricane Milton, getting ready to engulf Florida. Category 5, massive. If you live in Florida, get to safety. If you are listening to me from Florida, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get to safety. I understand your belongings. That's the place that you live, that you've been all your life. Your life is more important. If you are in Florida, please be safe. Hurricane Milton isn't a joke. Category 5 is catastrophic. That's the kind of storm that caused thousands, maybe even millions of deaths. Do not play around. Get to safety. Due to that storm, it screwed up a ton of creative, let's just say, matches, stories that AEW had planned for Dynamite. Britt Baker, for example, couldn't make it because, well, she's sick, under the weather. That's what they said. What? Flu, COVID, who knows, but under the weather, and she couldn't make it due to the storm anyway. So she was not on Dynamite. So they did a fatal 4-way that Willow won. Was probably going to win anyways if she fought Britt Baker, but she won, and she will be fighting the women's champ, Mariah May, while her nemesis, Chris Statlander, who won the match, is fighting Mercedes Moné as a consolation prize. And we'll talk about Miss Chris Statlander first, because that one really upsets me. That whole ordeal with Chris Statlander and Mercedes, that to me is part of the main reason why I rant on AEW so much. But we'll get to it in just a second. As always, thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. Let's get the preliminary stuff out the way. We do have a sponsor, and I do want to say hello to the lovely people here in the live chat. So once again, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact, you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alex Central, give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads, follow us on Discord, and give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. Super chats are on. They won't be played over the air. I still haven't figured out how to get the visuals, the ad reels, all that going for these vertical live streams. Once I do, I'll be sure to allow super chats to play. So you can donate, but they won't be appearing on screen. I'll just have to read them on air. Those of you who do decide to donate. Oh, and don't forget to get a t-shirt. Quickly, today's sponsor is Ekster Wallet, changing the way you carry your items one day at a time. I can help you get an Ekster Wallet, 30% off, or whatever you want from that Ekster store, using the promo code JustAlex. Just click the link. Not click, but click the link. Click the link down below. Check out the link and see what you like. Use the promo code JustAlex, and whatever you want is yours, 30% off. Once again, thank you to Ekster Wallet for continuing to sponsor the channel. I am grateful. But with that being said, we have quite the card for AEW Wrestledream, for a show that feels very last minute. Look, one of my biggest issues with AEW is that everything is last minute. There is no sense of long-term storytelling. Everything is just haphazard. They're just throwing things at the wall and just going with what sticks. It's not good business. It's just not. But that's what they're doing. And it feels like the AEW I fell in love with is long gone. I would like to think it's, in a state of rehabilitation since losing CM Punk. And maybe as time goes by, they'll find it again. It ain't looking good. It feels like this is it. AEW's glory days are over. I would like to think that's wrong. I would like to think Tony Khan will figure it out again. He will find the right people, whether it's wrestlers on screen, creative writers behind scene, creative period, or just overall promoters, people who can make the company better. I hope he does it soon, because this show is not good. And it's funny. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about this Tuesday night, Tuesday Title Tuesday war that they had between NXT and AEW. Because it's funny. I wasn't able to watch either show because I went out to see Joker 2 last night. Why did I do that to myself? This is not a Joker 2 review. But oh my goodness. I was getting a lot of messages. I was getting a ton of messages of people asking me to review NXT because they thought overall NXT was the better show. NXT was better than Dynamite. I can't say. I only saw Dynamite. I did not see NXT. But a ton of people were asking, please review NXT. Some of them were even asking me to stop reviewing AEW altogether. I'm not making that up. They said, could you please stop reviewing AEW and just focus more on NXT? Some of you are here in the live chat. Here's what I'll say to that. If this were black and gold NXT from like 2014 to about 2021, I would switch in a heartbeat. I would drop AEW instantly. Because NXT during that time was the best wrestling show in the world. The world. Unfortunately, this is not the NXT we're getting now. Clearly, this NXT is developmental. It's expected to be bad. It's expected to not be a good show. Is it always a bad show? I'm pretty sure they have a couple of good shows here and there. But for the most part, average, skippable, probably bad. And that's okay. Matter of fact, good. It's supposed to be. NXT is developmental. These talents are green and they need a place to learn. That means any gimmicks or storylines that they're working through or trying out are most likely going to suck or be unwatchable. That's expected. How else are they supposed to learn? How else are they supposed to improve? By making mistakes, learning from them, and getting better. Some talents are naturally gifted. They'll go in there like an Obafemi. He just gets it. But how many people are an Obafemi, or a Roxanne Perez, or a Braun Breaker who pick it up like that and they run with it and they become stars? Or Kurt Angle, or Brock Lesnar. Those are rare, guys. The average wrestler needs a good 3 to 5 years to iron out the mistakes, understand what the camera is, find out who they are, find out what works, and then become professional, where they get moved up to the main roster. You know what I mean? Take Javon Evans. I did see Javon Evans versus Randy Orton, and I saw that he botched that RKO finish. But why rant on that? He's learning. And it happened on NXT, where it was supposed to happen. I see people giving him a hard time. Why are you giving him a hard time? Randy didn't give him a hard time because Randy understands that Javon is a rookie. He is going to make those mistakes. Good. The next time he does that spot, he won't botch it. And at least he did it on NXT and not Raw or SmackDown. If he botched it on Raw or SmackDown, we would have an issue. Now we have an issue. But I'm glad he did it here on NXT, where there's not going to be a problem. Everybody understands what happened. He's going to grow from it. He's going to learn from it. AEW, on the other hand, is not developmental. It is, by all means, a legitimate competitor to WWE and should be treated as such. The expectations for AEW are astronomically higher than NXT. So when you look at Dynamite, because I did watch Dynamite before coming up here, not just Dynamite either, Collision, Rampage, these shows should not be skippable or terrible. Sometimes they're both, but they often are. The gimmicks on these shows, the storylines, they shouldn't be bad. They shouldn't suck, but they often do. The storytelling should be top notch, but it's often not. AEW said it themselves, where the best wrestle. AEW has some of the best wrestlers in the world. Better than WWE. Yet they produce their weekly shows like NXT, like a developmental brand. It's embarrassing. This past episode of Dynamite was embarrassing. And it should be called out. No, they shouldn't get leeway. Because a bad AEW show will hurt the perception of wrestling far more than a bad NXT show. You expect NXT to be bad. And when it's not, that's a plus. Awesome. But when it is, you don't lose sleep over it. It's NXT. AEW doesn't have that leeway. And if we're at the point, if we've reached the point where people are now asking me to stop reviewing AEW, they're asking me to review a show that's expected to be bad over one that should be on the same level of Raw and SmackDown, or SmackDown, then AEW is in some deep trouble. AEW is in deeper trouble than we realize. And serious changes are needed. If that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. No one should be asking me to stop reviewing AEW. But that's where we are now. And there's tons of reasons for that, which we'll get into here in this preview and predictions. So give me your thoughts down below about the Title Tuesday War. If you watch both episodes, give me your thoughts about Dynamite. We'll go through what I thought as we get to each match. By the way, I'm getting more people coming in. I appreciate that. Please like the stream, like the video. it is imperative that you get these likes up because it does help boost the algorithm of my streams. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Enough stalling. Let's go ahead and get to what you are all here to talk about. Lord have mercy. Wrestledream. I'm going to be honest with you. I skimmed over the card before coming up here. Are we serious right now? What is this card? Legit question. What the hell is this card? This doesn't feel like a pay-per-view. It doesn't feel like something I should be paying $50 for. This feels like, at best, a really good Dynamite. That's it. If this was something I got for free, I'd be excited for it. But you're making me pay $50 for it. No, sir. This is not a show worth $50. There's maybe, 2 matches on here? That's worth $50. That's the International Championship and then the main event. The main event being Bryan and Jon Moxley. And then Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita. Those are the only 2 matches that are worth the $50. I'm sorry. Like, this card is not good. This might be their weakest card all year. And the thing is, it's worse because of the uneventful buildup. See, All Out, well, technically a lot of shows this year, but All Out especially had horrible buildup, but that was an excuse because it was 2 weeks after All In. But that show still delivered, despite the horrible buildup. Do I think Wrestledream will deliver on the same quality as All Out? We'll have to see. I'll be surprised if it doesn't, but still the problem is you had a lot more time to build to Wrestledream, and this is the card you came up with? This feels and looks last minute, which is impossible. You had over a month to build up to Wrestledream, and you still gave us a last minute card. See, stuff like this makes me believe what Brian Alvarez reported. Because he reported that Tony Khan no longer books long-term anymore. And I said to myself, that's not true. That can't be true. Tony Storm, Mariah May. That was long-term. Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland. That was long-term. They can do long-term and have done long-term. So what changed? Why did they stop doing long-term booking? Maybe he's right, though. Looking at a card like this, you can't tell me this was planned months ago. This feels like and looks like it was planned yesterday. I'm not kidding. It's horrible. Just a horribly booked card. But people are going to watch it. The sickos are still going to fork over the $50 and praise the ground that Tony Khan walks on. And people like me will be heralded as haters. Them podcasters want to see AEW fail. No, I want to see them succeed and be better than what they are. The people that look at this card and go, man, AEW is in great shape. You are part, I won't say you're part of the problem, but I think we have to get to a point where we're honest with ourselves. AEW could be so much better. And we're seeing, in my opinion, the worst of it. This is the worst AEW has been as a promotion, as a company, as a TV show. Like, look at this card. The card's in the description box in case you need to look at it. But let me just go through some of these matches. We'll break down each match when we get to them. But Hologram versus Beast Mortos. Huh? Like, again, I said Dynamite. This should have been on Collision. But if this match was on Dynamite, I'd be like, sure. Let's see it. You're making me pay $50 for this. Why is this on my pay-per-view? Why are you making me pay $50 for this? Darby Allin versus Brody King. Huh? Does it have a story? Sure. Is it pay-per-view worthy? No. It's not. Now, this match on Dynamite and or Collision, I'm game. Why are you making me pay $50 for it? Hangman Page and Jay White if you gave it more time, gave it a little bit more heat, you could have made it a pay-per-view match. Jay White just got back. He came back last week. Boom, he's fighting Hangman Page at the pay-per-view. Feels a bit abrupt, in my opinion. Jack Perry and Shibata. Are you serious? Really? That's your best? That is your best opponent for Jack Perry. Hook is right there. Why aren't we giving... I mean, Jay White wanted a title match. You could have done Jay White versus Jack Perry. That's something new and interesting. There are so many other people that could be going for this TNT title that we're not going to. But he's going to Shibata. And again, you look at this card, you look at the ones that Tony Khan care about. I mean, the one match that should really make you shake your head is the Ring of Honor World Championship match. Why do we have a Ring of Honor World title match on an AEW pay-per-view? This would have annoyed me. This would have annoyed me if it was on Dynamite or Collision. Why is it on my pay-per-view? This is not Ring of Honor. But again, this is who Tony Khan cares about. This whole roster of amazing talent, the Malachi Blacks, the Leo Rushes. We're going to give the pay-per-view to Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho because that's who Tony Khan likes. Again, will the pay-per-view deliver? Will the card deliver in terms of match quality? Will we end up getting a banger show? Usually, despite the build-up, AEW delivers bangers. So, more than likely, yes, it will be a banger pay-per-view where all the matches are top quality, where all the matches deliver, where fans are excited. I don't even know if this sold out or not. Someone go on Twitter really quickly and let me know what WrestleTix says about the attendance. Matter of fact, I think I can do that right now. Let me see. WrestleTix. Maybe I can find out where we're sitting at, where we are sitting at when it comes to ticket sales. Oh my goodness. Dynamite did 1,800? Well, it sounded like 200 people in there, so I believe it. So as of right now, they have, okay, well, it's looking like 6,000 plus. They set it up for 7,000. We'll probably get a good 8, 9, maybe even 10,000 by pay-per-view time. That's good. To me, that's a good thing. If they manage to get around 7,000, 8,000, that's better than what they usually get. They should be doing probably 12 if this is Bryan Danielson's last match, which is looking like. Spoiler alert. But 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 for AEW is amazing, especially with this AEW. The weekly shows are terrible, but people still have good faith in their pay-per-views, which is why they're still doing good. But that's where we're at. Like I said before, by Showtime, they'll probably end up doing around, give or take, 8,000, 9,000. That's what I'm suspecting. Y'all ready to talk about the show? Let's go ahead and get to it. So the first match I want to get to is not even announced yet, but I suspect it will be by the time we get to Saturday. Mercedes Moné, your TBS champion, versus Chris Statlander. Those of you who just tuned into Dynamite and you're asking the question, what happened to Stokely Hathaway and why him and Chris are no longer a thing? Nobody knows either. And look, I'll admit, I don't watch Rampage and or Collision. I just watch Dynamite. But even the people who watch Collision and Rampage have no idea why Chris and Stokely have split up. This is part of the reason why fans look down or mock AEW. You had Chris Statlander, a long-term story with Willow Nightingale, best friends. Throughout that time, they were losing. Chris lost opportunities. As you would end up seeing, Chris turns on Willow, leads to a big match at All Out, one of the best female matches. And Chris won. She won being a villain. She won being a bad guy. So logically speaking, you would think, okay, well, she's going to stay a bad guy and she's going to try to be successful with Stokely Hathaway. Right? Nope. She just broke up with Stokely. She went from betraying her best friend, tormenting her for months in, to instantly, boom, back to being a good guy. Back to being a babyface. How? Why? Well, she has to fight Mercedes, and that's not a good excuse to renege on everything you just did. You literally just told us what we got invested in over the last year was a waste of time. All that storytelling you did with Chris and Willow went right out the door just so you can give Mercedes an opponent. What are we doing? That is just embarrassingly terrible storytelling. It's not odd. Well, yes, it is. It's odd. It's weird. But on top of all that, it's terrible. It's one of those things where I look at it and go, Tony, are you okay? My dude, do you need help? Yes. But do you need serious help? Because this is not good. This is not good. But whatever. I'm not booking the show. All I can do is just call it out. What they're doing with Chris makes no sense whatsoever. And the sad part about all this is she's going to lose if they do this match, which I think they will. Mercedes ain't losing to her. So you reneged on all that build-up. Gave her this amazing storyline where Chris won. She has all this momentum with Stokely Hathaway. You take it away from her just so she can lose to Mercedes Moné. Wow. And then he wonders why nobody becomes stars anymore. Why he can't get people to care about his products. This is why. This is why. Horrible. Stupid. Ignorant. All of that. It's just horrible storytelling on AEW's part. So congratulations, Chris. You got a title match, and you'll most likely lose. That's terrible. I feel bad for Chris. She's not going to complain about it because she knows better. She knows who feeds her. But that match is not announced yet. Hopefully it will be announced by the time we get to Saturday. And I think it will be. To the card that is announced, the first match I see on here is this 2 out of 3 falls match between Hologram and Beast Mortos. So what? Beast Mortos attacked Hologram, and so now they have a match. The match, I'm pretty sure, will be great. It's luchador wrestling. I love luchador wrestling. So screw it. Hologram wins. Honestly, I would give it to Beast Mortos because Beast Mortos is a lot more prominently featured, and Hologram can't win every match, but Hologram is a Tony Khan favorite. So guess who's winning? Hologram. Next, Darby Allin versus Brody King. Again, will the match be good? Their previous matches, well, they don't really have a history of one-on-one matches in AEW. Most of their matches were multi-man, like the Rampage, Royal Rumble, and then other tag matches. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure like their previous matches, this one will be good. Darby will get tossed around. Brody King will be the powerhouse, and Darby will find a way to beat him. Will it be fun to watch? Absolutely. But I just have to ask, what are we doing? Both of these men could be doing other things to help elevate the shows. Not even saying that you couldn't have done this match, but you don't really have a story for it. Sure, you're piecing together incidents of what happened between them, but that's not a story. They have a history, but that's not a story. There's no story to this. It's just Darby Allin, open challenge. He wants to fight me. Brody King. Cuz. Darby wins because we're in Washington. Hangman Page versus Jay White. Again, if you had given this match more time, more heat, you could have made this a pay-per-view match. Like the first two. Will the match be great? I think this match is going to be fantastic. I expect this to be an outright banger. Hangman Page is going to win because Hangman Page is being built up as the Jack Ripper of AEW. So I'm not expecting anything different to happen here. I totally expect Hangman Page to be Jay White. I would be surprised if he didn't. So that one was easy. We have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks, or Matt and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs, taking on Private Party. At any other point in time, at any other point in AEW's history, I would have said put the belt on Private Party. Honestly, they should go ahead and put the belts on Private Party. But unfortunately, at this moment, Tony Khan, he's so obsessed with the way the Bucks are being booked. They have this heat behind them as EVPs. Whatever. I don't care. There isn't a tag team division anyways. We have tag teams, but we don't have a tag team division. So what's the point? Why even get upset? I would love for Private Party to win. They should win, but they're not. So the Young Bucks will retain, and we move on. Hopefully the match is good. AEW TNT Championship match. The Scapegoat, Jack Perry versus Katsuyori Shibata. They're trying to do this thing with Jack Perry where he's Raven. Like Raven from the 90s. Look, I get it. I loved Raven too. Jack Perry ain't Raven. Jack Perry doesn't have the charisma of Raven. This whole scapegoat bullshit. Oh my God, CM Punk hit me. It's stupid. It's not cool. No one cares. And the thing is, Jack Perry is a great talent, but his booking is not all that special. Sorry. It's not great. But they're going to keep him strong. He's going to beat Shibata. And he'll probably lose to, I don't know. I was thinking he would lose to Hook. He better lose to someone like a Hook. Don't know when it's happening. But who cares about this match? We all know Jack Perry is going to beat Shibata. But we'll see. Someone just said, how do I feel about Daniel Garcia beating Jack Perry? Again, I'm cool with anybody beating Jack Perry. But I don't see it happening. Because Jack Perry clearly is a Tony Khan favorite. Although, if I was to pick somebody, it would be Hook. No offense to Daniel Garcia. I love Daniel Garcia. I think him being back, apparently he did sign with AEW. He is officially with the company, at least for the foreseeable future. He needs a little bit more work. Maybe more of a feud with MJF. Maybe getting a victory over MJF might help me see him as a champion in any aspect. But since he lost to MJF and he's been gone for a while, we need to get him some wins. Get him some wins first. Then we can think about giving him a title. Hook should be the next in line. Hook should win that championship. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just going to make this quick. Ring of Honor World title. Mark Briscoe beats Chris Jericho. Moving on. This shouldn't be on this card. I know Tony Khan has a boner for Chris Jericho and this stupid, absolutely ridiculous, hi guys, learning tree gimmick. It's dumb. The worst gimmick Chris Jericho's had. And then I have nothing but love for Mark Briscoe. But again, this is not Ring of Honor. This is an AEW show. What are you doing? Sorry. Mark Briscoe retains. That's all I'm going to say about it. AEW Women's Championship. Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May. I would be more invested in this match if Willow beat Chris Statlander. Why did you have Willow lose if she was the one planned to fight Mariah May? Again, there's no way this is long term. There's no way. This feels last minute. Honestly, I have a feeling this was supposed to be Britt Baker, but Britt got hurt or she got sick, and she's unfortunately trapped wherever she is due to the storm. Hopefully she's safe. If she's from Florida, then oh goodness gracious, please be safe. Regardless, Willow Nightingale lost at All Out, so we should be in the rebuilding stages. But here she is, going from losing to Chris Statlander at All Out to now fighting for the top women's championship in AEW. What are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? Ridiculous. Regan, is it Reichert? My sister told me she's pregnant and I'm going to be a dad. Wait a minute. I think I read that wrong. Regan, I think I read that wrong. Sorry. So your sister's pregnant and you're going to be the dad of a different person, right? Because the way I read that, I'm going to just... The live chat's like, wait, what? I know the rest of y'all are just like, wait, what? Did I read that right? Oh, it's awkward. Oh my God. Hey, we're just gonna move on. Because I was thinking he said he was having a son, like he was having a baby with a girl, with someone. But yeah, the way I read that, we're moving on. Y'all are weird. Not y'all. I love y'all. But people like that. Dylan Danger, you're the moderator. Make sure shit like that stays out of the live chat, please. Guys, don't be weird in the live chat. Where was I? Did I even predict who wins? Mariah May. Jesus, that threw me off. 1 second. Jesus Christ. This is why I have mods, guys. This is why I have mods. Okay. I predict Mariah May will beat Willow Nightingale because, well, she's still involved in a long-term story with Toni Storm. See, AEW can do long-term stories. Ain't that something? So she'll probably end up fighting Toni at, I'm gonna assume, Full Gear. And then they'll do one more match next year at that big stadium in Australia. Jesus Christ almighty. Yo, I might have to end this stream in a second because that just threw me off. That screwed me up so badly. Where was I? Are we down to 2 matches? Oh, thank God. We're down to 2 matches. AEW International Championship. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Konosuke Takeshita. Match of the night. 3 of the best wrestlers in the world. I so want Takeshita to win this championship. Jesus Christ. I really want Takeshita to get a title before the year's over. But something tells me the plan is to have Takeshita beat Okada. Okada versus Takeshita is an all-in WrestleMania level match. So, if that's the plan, he can't win here. Unfortunately. I want him to win. He should win. But Will Ospreay, rightfully so, is doing an excellent job with the International Championship. And he should hold that thing for as long as possible. And the only person who should be beating Ospreay is Ricochet. So, no offense to Konosuke Takeshita, main event player. He's going to do awesome things. I heard he's getting a push. They better be giving him a push. Save the big win against Okada. Ospreay retains. Easy dub. Finally, the main event. The one that has everybody talking. So the match for the World Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Is this Bryan Danielson's final match? At least for AEW full-time. And also, will this lead to Shane McMahon coming into AEW? Those are the questions everybody's asking. Here's what I'll say, and I do want to make this clear. I think because they're playing Final Countdown so much, because they played it on Dynamite, that's a song that has a huge copyright revenue to use. They had to pay upwards to close, I know it's 6 digits. I don't want to say it's close to $1 million, but they pay so much money to have that song played. And so the fact that they're playing it this often makes me think, yeah, he's calling it today. I think he's losing. I think Jon Moxley's going to beat him here, and I think he's going to retire in Washington, in his home state. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it feels a little too soon. I wish he would have held it a little bit longer, at least until next year. But maybe that's why they did Nigel and him, because he isn't going to be here. He has to retire. He has to go get neck surgery. So, yeah, he's going to be fighting Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley will win. He will once again be AEW World Champion. Jesus Christ. How many times is it? 4 times now? 4-time AEW champion. Honestly, I would have Shane come in. This would be the best time to bring in Shane O'Mac. They need it. Dear God, does AEW need Shane here? We know he's coming in. He's taking pictures with the Young Bucks. I mean, he took a picture with Mercedes too, but he knows Mercedes. That's not a big deal. But he's clearly coming in. The clues are there. The moment you saw him meeting with Tony Khan, there ain't no way in hell they had that meeting for him not to come in. So yeah, he's going to be here. He is the higher power. He is trying to take over AEW. Hopefully this will be a better storyline than what we have now. At this point, make it a real storyline. Make it real. Shane needs to take over. Shane, just come in, buy AEW from Tony Khan, because this shit's terrible. It's terrible. Make that Charles Barkley. Terrible. It's terrible. It is bad. It's really bad. But yeah, this is it for Bryan Danielson. Tell you what, man. When it's all said and done, one of the greats of all time. Period. One of the all-time greats, a legend in the business. Apparently, he's not going to retire fully. He's just going to be a part-time performer, which means we still might get him versus Kenny Omega and other matches that matter. But man, I don't know. I just personally feel like he has a lot more left in the tank. And maybe we could have got it out of him, but he does need neck surgery, so he's going to need time off after this. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So there you go. Bryan Danielson will lose to Jon Moxley, and that will be his final match as a full-time performer. I think that concludes my AEW preview and predictions. Do I sound good? Yep, I sound great. All right, guys, look. I don't want to be up here too long after what I just read. Let me quickly go through my predictions. Moxley becomes your new AEW champion, and we get the debut of Shane McMahon. Mariah May retains. Ospreay retains. Briscoe retains. Perry retains. Young Bucks retain. Mercedes Moné retains if she fights. Hologram beats Beast Mortos. Darby Allin beats Brody King. Hangman Page beats Jay White. It is the most predictable show that they've done so far, but you know what? If the show delivers, if it's a good quality show, then I guess that's what matters. Are you buying the pay-per-view? Are you excited for it? Let me know. Talk to me. How we feeling about AEW Wrestledream, and if you're excited about it? Let me just read a couple of comments before I get out of here. Yeah, people are very befuddled. Befuddled. Is that even a word? Befuddled about Chris Statlander randomly going babyface after all that story built into her and Willow Nightingale. And then she won it all out. And then she said, yeah, this isn't working. I'm going back to being a good person. Let's see here. Hologram versus Beast will be a good match. JJ Bulldog, I don't doubt that, but Jesus Christ. Could you have been any more random with the matches you put on this show? It's not worth $50. I'm sorry. Jack Perry ain't losing. Luis? Is it Luis or Luis? Luis Gamer 639? Yes. Luis Gamer. Look, buddy. Jack Perry should lose, but he's not. I agree. Private Party ain't beating no Young Bucks. They should, but they ain't. I agree. Kevin Holden said AL. Oh, this is when y'all saw that comment from Regan. Oh God damn it. I can't even read it again. Your reactions was priceless. Because I was reading it and I'm thinking that it's him saying he's having a baby or his sister's having a baby. But when I read it, I was just like, yo, what the hell? That was so awkward. Shinobi, what's up, brother? Yeah, Regan was wild. He was wilding. Wilded. Shane coming in could be huge, but my question is he coming in as an on-screen character? Both on-screen and off-screen. They need someone to help run the show. Yeah, I think everyone agrees this is it. MVP will be on the show. They're looking to do a segment between MVP and Swerve Strickland. Really? Okay. Well, it'll be good to see Swerve. See what they do with that. Do I think MVP will recruit Swerve? No. I think Swerve, I think I talked about this in my last live stream. I think Swerve might do a feud between Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. But nah, I don't see him joining the Hurt Syndicate. You know who should join the Hurt Syndicate? Powerhouse Hobbs. Now that's a team. Make that work. That's crazy. Let's see here. Do you have black eyeshadow or do I have really bad raccoon eyes? I don't know. You tell me. Ken. Mods, take care of these trolls in here, please. See, I read some of these troll comments so y'all see them. I like my eyes. What's wrong with you, sir? You know what? Maybe I'm losing sleep dealing with trolls like you. Get him out of here. Powerhouse Hobbs is injured. No, he's not. He's cleared. He's been cleared. Powerhouse Hobbs has been cleared for months now. They just don't have creative waiting for him. That also sounded very racist. Look, these trolls in here, y'all getting to me today. That first one by Regan was ridiculous. And now we got someone in here calling me a raccoon. What's that raccoon's name from Pocahontas? Jesus Christ. All right, y'all, you know what? I will see you. I will definitely see you on Saturday because this is getting out of hand. Y'all got my thoughts. You got my predictions. Give me yours down below in the comments. This is what happens when you talk about AEW. These people come out. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for making me a part of your day. And as you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, and Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place it is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out. Peace.